Hi there everybody, my name is Catherine and I'm the dog trainer and founder of Alka K9, and this is my dog, Nuga. Nuga is a rescue from the Montreal SPCA, and she's been with me for a little bit over a year now, and she's learned a whole lot. I wanted to take a little bit of time today to show you what to avoid when you've recently rescued a dog. So one of the most common mistakes that I'll see people make is have really high expectations in the first weeks of adopting a new dog. If you think about it in their perspective, they've passed through a very, very stressful environment and they're now transferring into another environment that is unknown, which is really scary for most dogs. Some dogs have a really stable and confident attitude, which is great, but mind you, most of the dogs that pass in the shelter, they will come out of it a little bit more fragile, if I can say that. There's a little bit of a higher risk of aggression in that sense because we're at a different level of stress, and it's a very high level of stress. What we want to keep in mind is to take our time, have very low expectations of what they can offer us, and to reward a lot more that voluntary interaction. So for instance, the dog comes to see you, it's not because it actually wants to be all loved on and pet. On the contrary, it might just mean that they wanted to be in proximity to you, but not necessarily have all the extra hand fluffs. So what we want to keep in mind is to have more voluntary interactions with our dogs to make sure that we're not going over that consent. Even if we feel and we know that we are saving this dog's life and we already love them to pieces on the first day, it doesn't even take 5 minutes, we already love them, their love language is a lot different than ours. So the second mistake that I'll see the most is not having any environmental management. So the dog is kind of allowed to do what he wants, when he wants, no boundaries, no reinforcing of the good behaviors or the appropriate behaviors that we would like. We kind of just like let them have the whole house because, oh, you've just been rescued and you deserve all the space in the world. I agree with you that they do deserve all the space in the world, but some dogs can get lost in that space and not necessarily know where to put their heads and end up doing something naughty like stealing a slipper or chewing on something that they shouldn't have because that's what was accessible to them in that particular environment. We want to make sure that we either keep a leash on them, specifically if they're sensitive to manipulations, so that we don't always need to put the harness on or go near the collar to put the leash on. So we have this 6 feet of, just space in between us in case our dog is a little bit more sensitive. Another tip that we can also have would be either to crate train or to have a playpen or to have baby gates around the house to make sure that certain areas are not necessarily accessible. We want to make sure that the dog is potty trained, that behaves nicely, that knows what to chew on before we start kind of giving them way more access to either the home or the apartment. Lastly, the third biggest mistake that I will see new pet owners do is invade the dog's personal space and ignore certain communications. So we have appeasement signals, and this is the way that dogs communicate with us. I'll leave a link in the bio to make sure that you guys can go check it out. We want to make sure that we respect our dog's communications as much as possible in order for the dog to understand that his signals are worth using and that he does not have to go higher up on that ladder and growl, air snap, or bite. We want to make sure that the dog understands also that humans are a good thing and that they respect our communications, and that his favorite humans, well, soon to be favorite humans, his familiar people, are there to advocate for him and can recognize when he's feeling uncomfortable so that again he can thrive and be put up for success and have a great time and learn new things. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed this video and subscribe to my channel in order to not miss out on any free dog training tutorials, enrichment ideas, and cookie recipes.